thank y'all for joining in today. We got Mason Wake today. It's exciting. He played for BYU football. If you watch the highlights, he's number 13. He's known as the hurdle fullback.
Played forever ago. I'm an old man now.
If you want to tell him about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, my name is Mason Wake. So I grew up in Alpine, Utah. Not too far from BYU, probably like 30 minutes from BYU. I went to Lone Peak High School, played football, basketball, baseball, everything you can think of. I won a state championship my senior year of high school. I kind of just started focusing on football and started getting recruited a little bit by a few coaches and some schools. And grew up the biggest Boise State fan ever. And it was kind of crazy because Boise State, they offered me a preferred walk-on, not a scholarship. Same with BYU, as a preferred walk-on. So, and I never really grew up watching BYU. My uncle played for them a little while ago, but I ended up just taking a chance on BYU. They told me that I have a chance to play as a freshman, so I was like, might as well. So I tried it, I didn't play in my first game against Utah in 2019, but then we played at Tennessee. Then I started in that game and started the rest of my career. So, it was a fun 4 years. I wish I could have made it for the fifth. Helped out the team last year, but it was a blessing. So I love doing these kind of things. So it's been kind of fun. So
yes. All right. We're gonna get to the questions now. What was your favorite thing about BYU football?
Favorite thing about BYU football? So it would probably be the culture that Kalani instilled in us, and kind of just the whole program was based around family and having each other's backs, and it was just really family oriented. And it's just you just knew that you can go out there and you're going to have your brother's back and he's going to have yours, and just that culture of just being, I think a lot of fans made fun of it, love and learning, because I think to an extent that is a good way to build a program around something, and then also being gritty, and you got to be mean on the football field, but just having that culture of just having, I'm going to practice, I'm going to meetings every day with my brothers, and it seriously was so fun. So,
all right.
Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of sports?
Yeah, I have a lot. So growing up, I went fishing and hunting all the time. I don't really like hunting that much. Fishing's really fun in my opinion. My dad was a pro bass fisher back in the day, so we went fishing quite a bit. And then I'm starting to pick up golf. I kind of played golf a little bit, but I'm starting to, I feel like an old man saying it, but I love golf now. So, and then watching all the sports I can, it's fun. So,
all right. What was your favorite game to play in?
Favorite game. So obviously, I'll kind of set the Utah games aside. I didn't play in the first one, but I played obviously in the second one, and we won. Those ones are probably up there, but I would say Tennessee, my freshman year. It was the first game I ever played in college, first game starting, and obviously it was the craziest game ever. We should not have won, but it was super cool. I just remember because the night before, when we were in the hotel, we kind of go through our first 10 plays. In the very first play, it was it was called 12 big, so it was 12 personnel. So there's 2 tight ends, 1 running back, and I was in on that. And he called it. It was Coach Grimes at the time. We called it in the hotel, and we were all just like, "Wait, what? I'm playing in this game?" And then I started, and there were I think there was almost 100,000 people there. Cool. And Zach was probably 5 feet from me. In the very first play, I think someone false started. So, but it was cool. It was fun to play there, and it was cool to see the players ran out of the Peyton Manning tunnel or something. I think it was a gate, but no, that was for sure probably my favorite one.
All right, and what was the hardest stadium to play in?
The hardest?
Loudest, which would probably make it the hardest.
I would probably say the most annoying place to play in was probably Utah State. I never lost to them, but when we played them up in Logan, so our bench is on, I think I don't know what side it's on, but then their student section is right behind us, right behind our bench. and where our benches are, it's probably 4 feet from where the fans are. So, and they're the most annoying. And it's kids that I've gone to high school with, and so they know everything about me, and they do their research on each player. So it's kind of like they'll call out, like they somehow knew who my 7th grade girlfriend was. They know everyone's wife. Like it's, and they're just so annoying. So I mean, I think it was 20. I don't know what it was, but when we were up there and we won, they were chucking food at us and stuff after the game.
gosh.
So that's probably the most annoying place to play, but then it was fun. So I didn't even play in that game, and they were talking so much crap to me. So it was fun.
All right.
Have you ever come up with your own plays?
In college, I think that, I mean, you'd always suggest, obviously everyone wants the ball. So, I mean, you'd always say, oh, like, for mine, it was like, let's run fullback dive, like we're on the 1-yard line. But in high school, I actually did call a play. It was against Skyridge, and it was probably one of my best plays in high school. I had this double stiff arm, and I ran for like 40 yards and scored. But it was just kind of a thing where, and this is a part of football that I really love, is really reading the defense and then, countering it. So I knew every time I was on this side, they would blitz. So we ran a little bubble screen, and I caught it and stiff armed one of my best friends and stiff armed another kid and scored. So yeah, that was, I mean, in football, everyone wants the ball. So everyone's always saying, oh, let's run this play. So.
Yeah, the double stiff arm reminds me of my first ever catch. 'Cause my first ever catch in high school,
Yeah.
I got a double stiff arm one.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
I was wide receiver, and we did go like a bat,
Mm-hmm.
where I stepped forward, and I don't know
Yeah.
what we called it,
Uh-huh.
but I went 2 feet back, and they didn't expect me to get the ball.
You stiff arm them to the ground or what?
Well, I only got like 10 yards on the play, but I got one stiff arm here, and then one stiff arm here, and then I got pushed onto the track.
Oh, nice. Nice, dude.
It was a fun moment. Whenever I hear stiff arm, and I know that has me.
Takes you back.
Yeah, it does. But do you have any more questions? All right. Well, I have one more. What's your favorite thing about your job now?
So I'm still in life insurance, so I mean, in a way, it's kind of fun, and we only work with veterans, so it's fun to talk to veterans every day and learn about some of their experiences and kind of taking it into my own life as well. But yeah, I actually I mean, I work with my fiance, she's there too. I work with some really good guys. I actually work with Lane Lunt too. I referred him on, so he's working with us. But yeah, it's just really fun, and I get to help veterans every day and help people get life insurance. So I mean, I think it was, obviously I want to play football, and it was really hard stepping away, but it really opened that door, and I got lucky with this job, and I've been very blessed, and it's fun to, like I said, just learn about experiences from older people that have a lot of experience.
I like that. That could really help you in your future, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because
A lot of marriage advice.
all right. Actually, my great grandpa gives a lot of that advice to my brother. He got recently engaged, and so he gets a lot of that advice and a lot of money handling advice.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. I think we'll move on to the advice segment. Mine is dreams. Dreams remain dreams until you take action. Without action, an idea is just a dream. And then I forgot to type yours down. So, but what I think about that advice is dreams are really just like a dream. Like everything in your future is a dream until you put something to it. So you gotta take your steps to that. I think that one was yours.
Yeah, so mine was when you quit, you fail. I mean, I think I can tie this into how the process of becoming a college football player was for me. So growing up, I didn't really have a lot of money. My mom passed away when I was 8 years old, so it was basically just me, my dad, and my 2 older siblings had moved out, so it was me, my dad, and my brother. So it was a lot of fights, a lot of name calling and stuff, but it kind of made me into the man I am now. But then tying in when you quit, you fail. So in high school, I felt like I could have got scholarships to a lot of more schools than I did. And then I ended up kind of just taking a preferred walk-on, and I could have quit right there. I could have gone down to, a couple of the smaller offered schools, but I just believed in myself, and I never wanted to quit. And then I went into fall camp just knowing that, I know what my abilities are. I'll never back down to anyone, and I don't care if I'm a walk-on and I'm going against a scholarship guy. Like I'm gonna go out there and win. So I never really ever thought about quitting at all, and I ended up, getting a scholarship in my second year. So yeah, never quit.
There we go.
Mine is take it day by day. Don't stress too much about tomorrow. So just don't stress when the day comes, and just have a great time. And then the next day, just also have a great time, and just try not to take life too seriously, I guess.
All right.
That's a way to put it.
That's a great way to put it. Real Salt Lake is 5-2-3. So they're undefeated since the last podcast, but they only played one game, so it's like not that hard.
Heck yeah.
The other soccer teams come in August, so that's coming up, guys. That's coming up. My random fact today is the Bermuda Triangle has as many ship and plane disappearances as any other region of the ocean. Man, that was confusing.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Man.
Want me to read mine?
Yeah.
All right. So mine was a snail breathes through its foot. I have no idea how or why, but that's my random fact.
Mine is ketchup used to be sold as medicine. Did not know that.
Some placebo going on, I guess. I don't know how that
Wasn't
helped.
like Dr. Pepper sold as medicine at one point too?
I think so.
That's just how they get you to buy it and use it.
Facts. I got my pickup line today is all the good pickup lines are taken, but you aren't. So.
That's good. And then mine is, are you Wi-Fi? Because I feel a connection. So I definitely could have got my fiance from that one.
Mine is, I was blinded by your beauty. I'm going to need your name and number for insurance purposes.
So which one of these are you using on your fiance when you get home?
I have to use something. I gotta, bring back the life in the relationship. I might just probably say all three of them. So we'll see.
The Salt Lake Bees, they're starting out slow still. They're 10-18. They're still last place, sadly. They still are having trouble scoring. So.
Something I heard about the Bees, actually. I don't know if it's true. You guys gotta check me.
All right.
But so High School Musical, Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah.
You guys ever seen High School Musical? With Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens? So she's pretty famous, yeah, Her, I think it's her husband or her fiance or boyfriend plays for the Bees. So she's been going to all the games, and so I might need to
see this.
Might need to go to a few games. So
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Hudgens.
My sister told me she's a big fan of her, so.
Boyfriend.
Baseball or something. Yeah.
I don't want to open any websites because I'm a little sussy. So. But you can open up Wikipedia. That works. He plays for the Los Angeles. Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey.
Because aren't we the minor league team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was right.
That's a dub.
Might have to go out to some games, try to see her.
For real. Yeah, if y'all are Vanessa Hudgens fans, man, go ahead to Salt Lake Bees game. They're probably cheap with a team that's poverty. BYU baseball, they're 17-24. They're not playing too great, but they got the dub against Utah a couple weeks ago.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters on the season. If you have Utah on that schedule, you got Utah. So. And then Utah, well, they're 29-13, and they're undefeated since the last podcast. So, that shows that BYU's their kryptonite. So, but Utah's balling out right now in baseball. They're really showing it to those teams. They're gonna be a good Big 12 team next year. So, and then it's the quote segment. I came, I saw, I conquered. Julius Caesar. So, I don't have much to say about that other than just conquer.
Yeah, mine is The Journey of 1,000 Miles Begins with One Step by Lao Tzu. Don't know who that is, but I think that goes true to a lot of things in life where, you may not think that you can accomplish something or maybe get to a certain destination, but you got to start somewhere. So it's just starting somewhere and staying positive with it.
I agree.
Mine is don't let the fear of what could happen make nothing happen.
All right. That's a dub. BYU softball is 27-22. They've not had the best year, but they've also played pretty well. They've upset some top tier teams. So that's good news for the BYU softball team. But Utah is 30-19. They're both baseball and softball for Utah is like they're top tier this year. So we can see a good playoff run by those two teams for sure. And now it's Yo Mama jokes of the day. Here we go.
Oh no.
Your mama so depressing, blues singers come to visit her when they've got writer's block.
And mine is Yo Mama's armpits are so hairy it looks like she got buckwheat in a headlock.
Mine is your mom was so fat that when she fell, no one was laughing, but the ground was cracking up.
Yes. Don't use this on anyone's mothers. Hockey segment. This is like the slow part of the year, sadly. It's like all the sports have stopped. But like hockey segment is over. Hopefully we'll have at least Utah Hockey Club in the playoffs next year, so we can still be talking about them. But we got the joke of the day, and mine's what did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing. It just waved.
That's good. And then mine is where do fruits go on vacation? Paris.
There we go.
Mine is why are elevator jokes so good? They work on many levels.
There we go. We'll move on to short stories now. Mine's called Jellyfish Fiasco. So when I was like 9, I went to this aquarium thing, and it was a pretty amusing trip overall. But then suddenly I just kind of saw these jellyfish without any tentacles floating around in the water. And I was like, oh, cool. The next day at school, the teacher asked us what we had done over the weekend. Now normally I never raise my hand, but I did this time. I freaking did it this time, the worst time possible. So I raised my hand, and everyone was obviously shocked to see my hand up in the air. So the teacher said yes. And after confirming the fact that she picked me, I said, I saw this jellyfish in the aquarium, and I thought it was really cool because it didn't have any testicles. And then like the class would be submerged with so much laughter, and I had no clue what was going on. So I pleaded my friend to explain what was so funny. And I mean, even a teacher was laughing, and I was going like, what the frick? So eventually my friend explained to me it literally took 2 hours of convincing. And then of course I was pretty embarrassed, but the thing is, the freaking teacher then asked me if she could tell this to the other teachers, and that's the story of how I switched schools.
Alright, and mine is called 8th grade games. So when I was in 8th grade, science class was the most boring hours of my life. Everyone would play games on their computers. We used computers to take notes, but would play them in a super sneaky manner. So I wasn't one for playing games during class, but I was so bored. So I searched up Pac-Man on Google and started playing, and I didn't know what else to play. So I started playing, and just my luck, I didn't check how high my volume was, and it was all the way up. I started panicking because the game noises were excruciatingly loud. I kept playing and got eaten by a ghost almost after I pressed the start button. So pretty quick. So my hands were shaking like crazy. My strict science teacher looked me straight in the eye, and yeah, that's the story.
Mine is 5-year-old boy starts cursing in front of his mom, but when she tries to discipline him, he responds with this. A mother was working in the kitchen listening to her 5-year-old son playing with his new electric train in the living room. She heard the train stop and her son saying, son of a gun, who want, oh my gosh, who went off, get the heck off now because this is the last stop and all of you sons of guns who are getting on, get your butt in the train because you're going down the tracks. The horrified mother went in and told her son, we don't use that kind of language in this house. Now I want you to go to your room and you are to stay there for 2 hours. When you come out, you may play with your train, but I want you to use nice language. 2 hours later, my son came out of the bedroom and resumed playing with his train. Soon the train stopped and the mother heard her son say, all passengers, please remember your things. Thank you and hope your trip was a pleasant one. We hope you will ride with us again soon. She heard her little darling continue, for those of you just boarding, remember there is no smoking in the train. We hope you will have a pleasant and relaxing journey with us today. As the mother began to smile, the child added, for those of you who are pissed off about the 2-hour delay, please please see the mom in the kitchen. That was probably my worst story I've ever had.
Oh, man. That was a good one. Thank y'all for joining. That's it today. It was kind of a quick one, but there was not much about. But thank you, Mason, for joining us. It was fun. We'll hope to have you again soon.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna have to.
yeah, next time we'll have to get you to play some NBA 2K. So, and you can bring your fiance next time.
Yeah.
But all right, that's it, and thank y'all.
Thank you.